fitness, and I just wanted to bring you on. But before we get to all that stuff, just tell the people more about who you are and, your journey of how you got there.
Thanks, Brandon. Yes, who am I? I would describe myself as an individual that's obsessed with growth and contribution. That's
Awesome.
kind of how I live my life around those two aspects, growth and contribution. And what that means to me is finding new ways to improve myself every single day through growth and contribution, serving my community, serving my family and friends, being there, providing, whether it's wisdom, whether it's guidance, whether it's knowledge, contributing in some meaningful way. And I can really say that this is all really stems from my upbringing. I was raised mainly by my grandmother during my adolescence, and she
Mhm.
installed a lot of virtues and morals in my life, really focused around wisdom and learning continuously,
Yeah.
not necessarily making mistakes, but learning lessons.
Right.
And that's contributed a lot to who I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, that's a perfect, perfect for the show that's called The Growth, and you're all about growing. So I love it. That's perfect. Just give the people a little bit insight of, where you're from, what'd you do growing up, and, where'd you go to school? I know I touched on it a little bit, but if you want to go more in depth on, your journey of how you started.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I was born and raised in San Jose, California, here at Kaiser, Santa Teresa.
Nice.
And I lived in San Jose, in the East Side School Union, until I was
Hmm.
about 12 years old. That's where my grandmother lives, near Mount Pleasant High School.
Mm.
And my parents actually they worked multiple jobs, and so I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house. My grandfather was a Navy veteran, and
Oh,
so we were established here back in the 1940s, late 40s.
wow.
Ironically enough, we just had a family reunion through Zoom, and so yeah, we just had it yesterday.
That's
It was
funny.
very cool
Yeah.
to see all of my family from back east.
Nice.
But ultimately, I'm from San Jose. I've been a native here for quite some time. My parents decided to move to Hollister when I was about 12 years old, and I wanted to get a football scholarship. I wanted a full ride scholarship to college, so my parents didn't have to bear the burden. I worked really hard in middle school and made that my goal. Created every created a vision board that would help me visualize that goal of obtaining a full ride scholarship, and I looked at it every day, and I focused on it, and I made that my definite purpose, and it came to fruition. I set my eyes on Bellarmine, got into that school, commuted 100 miles round trip daily through.
Wow.
Yes, it
That's
was
commitment.
quite the yeah, it was quite the commitment, Brandon. Seeing my other friends out playing around, and I'm doing homework and working out all the time, but I knew it would pay off, and it did, and it granted me a full ride scholarship, and that was really my dream at the time, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Wow, that's a testament to actually having a goal and then going after it every single day. That's amazing. That's something most people are not willing to do or even think about. So that's an amazing thing that you bring up. And then so where'd that vision bring you? Where did that go from, from going from Bellarmine to where you are now?
Yeah, it brought me to it really opened my eyes. I felt like it gave me an experience that I would probably never experience again in my life. Playing Division I college football, winning championships and bowl games. Feeling like a celebrity on campus, and having all of the resources at my hands. It gave me an opportunity that I'm so grateful for, and taught me a lot of good life lessons. How to
Hmm.
fail, how to lose respectfully, also how to win with humility by staying humble. And then I've learned those lessons, and I've taken it throughout my life. From there, after college, I spent 1 year playing professional football with the San Jose SaberCats, and then I went right back into what I love to do, which is serving others. And so I started my first job actually, before Hewlett Packard, I started my first job overseas. I was an international sales consultant in Brussels, Belgium,
Hmm.
and that was quite the learning experience. I was taught by a group of Dutch women actually on
Wow.
how to sell, how to cold call, and how to sell to government officials. And that gave me the confidence to really feel that I could speak to anyone and get my point across and communicate effectively. So I did that for about 8 months and got homesick, and I came back to the States and I found Hewlett Packard, and that really jump started my career in technology, cybersecurity specifically. Hewlett Packard was just a blessing. It gave me so many opportunities, afforded me the ability to buy a couple properties by doing really well in my sales career. It gave me the opportunity to meet with some of the smartest people I've ever met, to meet with executives that I still keep in touch with today as mentors. So that springboard from being in middle school and creating that vision board has really taken me to where I'm at today, and I'm just so grateful for it.
Yeah, I think that that mindset of just putting all that together and that's just having that ultimate goal of I'm going to get this no matter what and just striving for it every single day is absolutely amazing. And like I said, not too many people can do that. And I mean, look where you are now. You have all these, memories and all these experiences and all these failures and everything you can learn from to where you are now. That's just so cool to see, and I think it's good for the listeners to hear, because if you implement this into your life, you can pretty much achieve anything you want. You just have to put your mind to it. And so, where'd you go after Hewlett Packard? Where what are you doing now?
So after about 8 years at Hewlett Packard, I actually decided I was approached by a career coach. And this is Brandon. This is when I really started to getting into coaching and
Hmm.
understanding how valuable coaching is. I've always had coaches in my life, growing up as an athlete and having mentors. And at this point, it was literally last year, probably around January of last year, 2019. At this point, I really came to believe in the power of coaching, of positive influences in your life that are like, you set aside dedicated time to work with them. And so a career coach reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, how would you like to be your own boss? And again, this goes back to my vision board. One of the things on my vision board was entrepreneurship. Like, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, I always wanted to be a CEO. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to explore that a little bit more. So she put a few opportunities in front of me in the form of franchises. One of the franchises was like flipping homes, Home Vester.
Hmm.
Another was this cleaning service, which I think would have been really good during this time, during this whole COVID
Hmm.
pandemic. And then the other one was Gym Guys, which is the franchise that I own today. And I fell in love with Gym Guys from the initial from the initial onset. She showed me what it was all about, and it boiled down to being number one in-home personal training. And that story resonated with me so well because prior to this, about 2 years prior, I shattered my knee. I was playing basketball. I was doing all these intramural sports after my professional career, thinking I was unstoppable. And I literally tore my knee up,
Wow.
ACL, LCL, PCL, and a microfracture on my femur. So I had completely reconstructive surgery. I have three cadaver ligaments. It was
Oh.
18-month recovery. But during that time, luckily I was with HP. They were allowing me to still work. I'm not sure how I was able to still close deals over the phone with the, broken leg and being bedridden for so long, but that's why I'm so grateful for them. But nonetheless, as I was going through physical therapy 4 days a week, my cousin, who's actually my business partner now, brought something to my attention and said, "Hey, why don't you get a coach, like a fitness coach, to come to your house and help you out? Because I know you want to get back on your legs. I know you want to get back to where you were." I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So he recommended a buddy of his who used to compete in bodybuilding and stuff. And this guy was just a life changer to me. His name's Frank, and he would come to my condo every day, 5 days a week for 18 months straight. I have no idea, Brandon, how much I paid this guy, but it didn't matter. It did not matter
Right.
because he got me from 0 to 100 so quickly. And every day it was progression, progression. Don't get me wrong. There was times where I was down and that's when a real coach comes through. I mean, there's been times where I shed tears, and we shed tears together
Hmm.
because we knew the road ahead. But the thing is that that positive influence in my life helped me get through it, and to have someone there to teach me how to properly exercise, how to properly work out, someone, certified personal trainer, it was God sent. And so when this opportunity with Gym Guys came around, again, it was God sent. It was like, man,
Hmm.
this is meant to be.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the concept of being in-home personal training, coming up with convenient, customized, and creative workouts, exercise, and diet programs for anyone. Our
Hmm.
goal here in Santa Clara Valley is really threefold. We want to serve three areas of the population. We definitely have our firm client base of individuals that really believe in health and wellness, and we serve them very well. We also have corporate accounts that we work with. We just signed up a law firm here just over the weekend, and we work with health and wellness programs there. But then we also serve the underserved, and that's through a program called Self Determination, where we work with Medicaid here in California, and we serve those individuals with disabilities, whether it be autism, whether it be a physical disability, and we provide ways for them to get that exercise and diet in a form in a manner that they would have never been able to receive it before. And so that's what really makes us proud to know that we've got 26 coaches all across the Bay Area willing to pick up the torch and run with it and help anyone that wants to be served, that wants to live a better life. Health and wellness is really just been our key to success thus far.
Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, yeah, helping the underserved, that is truly amazing because not too many people want to go out of the way to do that, and it takes a special person to commit their life to service and helping others like you do. So that's wow, that's really amazing, and it's really cool what you guys are doing. So what do you do every day in this business model?
So I am CEO owner. My job is ultimately I'm the top sales guy.
Hmm.
My job is to find opportunities, business development opportunities, and to bring new clients
Hmm.
and to find the perfect price for them so that they can get what they really want. And the goal behind what I do is to show and help people visualize what it is that they really, really, truly want. Not,
Hmm.
and a lot of it is at first they're like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to, flatten my stomach. But what do you really want? Well, actually, I want to be healthy. I want to lower my blood pressure. I want to be
Okay.
120 over 80, or I want to be able to run with my 10-year-old, um, you know, 10 years from now. I mean, then
Hmm.
we get real specific and we design those smart goals. So my job is to put together the best marketing, advertising, and put together the best team possible to deliver a service that people really really want in their lives, and to do it at a price point that they can afford, that they're willing to make changes for, and most importantly, my job is to deliver those results. So on a daily basis, I can be doing anything from, working with a corporation to build out an employee wellness program around exercise and diet, to working with a family who has a kid that has autism and wants to just swing on the monkey bars with their classmates when they get back to school again. It's very widespread. I spend my days, a lot of times I'm in front of a computer, but I'd rather be in the field. When I'm out in the field, I'm doing assessments. So I'm working with clients. I'm coming to their home, and I'm assessing them. I'm putting them through a 3-part assessment where I'm learning a lot about their medical history, their lifestyles, most importantly, their goals. And I do a body assessment where I'm taking measurements as a baseline, and then we take them through a fitness assessment with some performance tests to understand what they're capable of. And through that assessment, hypothetically, we can develop a program, exercise and diet program for them, and get them the results that they're looking for. And
Right.
this is all possible because, I had to go back, get my certification similar to you, Brandon, in NASM,
Mm-hmm.
and really just study what it's all about, the
Mm-hmm.
physiology behind, what we do every day. It's so important. We talk
Yeah.
about growth and contribution. I'm growing every day by looking at different certifications of NASM so that I can contribute more to my local community. So that's kind of what my daily lifestyle looks like today.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can add on to that. It's there's a lot of certifications you can get as a trainer, and so just so the people know, there's a lot of different things you can get it, and it takes some hard work to go and learn all those different things. But at the end of the day, it really helps out the end consumer at the end of the day, and that's great because it shows the people how you are, your business and your fitness, and you're putting them all together, and you're doing all these different components. So that's really cool to see. Let's go a little deeper into the fitness space. During Due to this COVID-19 pandemic, uh, I would have to argue, this might be a little contrary to belief, but
Mm-hmm.
what I'm thinking right now is that I have a lot more time to focus on my health and my fitness than I normally do, because when I'm out running around, going to the office, going to show houses and everything else, I have time to focus on it, but I feel like I have more time now since I'm pretty much stuck at home most of the day. I have a kitchen to cook food and I know exactly what I'm going to be eating. I can pretty much, I don't have my gym to go to, but I have, a couple of weights to work out with, and you can always go on a walk and jog and other stuff. But my belief right now is that we can actually focus on our health, a lot better than we normally can. um, I know that's contrary to belief, but I mean, what do you think about, all this and how we should be, exercising during all this?
Yeah, it is contrary to a lot of beliefs, is what I would say, without a doubt. I think that, at the end of the day, we all have a choice, and it's more like, well, what do I want to be during COVID-19? You
Mhm.
know, and a lot of people are stuck in this fear zone.
Right.
It's scary. It's very scary. People are complaining a lot. They're getting mad easily. It's a
Mhm.
fear zone. And we were all there at one point. I was there. I know I was there. A lot of our coaches were there. But what we've done is we've decided to really double down on the communication, double down on the positive communication, reaching out to our clients more than ever, just letting them know that we're there for them. Most importantly, having regular touch points with our coaches, the 26 coaches that we've got
Mhm.
across the Bay Area. We meet every Friday and we discuss topics like this. We do, real workshops around, shifting that mindset. Because when we're in this stage of shock, this, like you said, it's an opportunity to shift what we would normally do. And we
Mhm.
can shift it into, being scared and kind of going into a closet and, kind of hiding from it and being uncertain and just, kind of being stuck. Or we can shift it into learning and growing. And that's where we're focused at. We're
Yeah.
becoming aware of the situation and understanding how to act, right? There's a lot of things we've got to do. We've got to do social distancing. We've got to wear our mask. We've got to make sure that we're sanitizing everything. These are some of the fundamental things that we need to do. And instead of complaining about it, make it a regular habit and just and run with it. And then we can
Exactly.
grow. We can take those talents and we can make them available to other people. And the way we can do that is by having confidence that we're doing the right thing. And now we can share our knowledge with the rest of our community. So that's the messaging that we've been really pumping into the heads of our coaches and our clients. I mean, that's how we've been able to grow during this pandemic. Not only by offering new services like our virtual personal training and all the group classes, come up with a lot of creative ways to stay in touch and still be impactful in our community. But it all started with making that choice. I mean, that's something that we ingrain in everyone we come across every day.
Yeah, that's great how you guys are just helping people out even in a tough time like this. I mean, people need it more now than, ever. So I mean, I think that's great. And let's go a little bit deeper into the gym industry. I know you guys are part of it, at home personal training. Um, But how do you think the gym industry is going to survive this? I mean, there's, big box, there's CrossFit, there's group classes, and other things. But do you think, all these are going to come out of it with this pandemic going on? I know at home personal training is in a great spot right now. But
Mhm.
how do you think this gym industry is going to, survive?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brandon. Um, all of my peers out there, gym owners, I wish them nothing but success as we get out of this,
Hmm.
because they're delivering a great service. They're providing, products that people can really utilize. And I think it's going to be tough. I honestly do feel like it's going to
Yeah,
be tough, because when I've talked to my clients, or even just being out here in front of my home, because we built a state of the art gym in our garage during
nice.
this pandemic, you know.
Yeah.
And so I've got neighbors coming by wanting to work out, and I'm not sure if I'll go back to the gym that quickly.
Hmm.
And again, it goes to that fear zone, and so I can understand that. I think that it's going to be difficult to kind of shift that mindset for gym members. I don't think it's impossible. I think that there still will be gyms. I think that the gym owners have got to really look at this as a way to educate, their members on what safety really looks like, and how they're taking, the necessary precautions to make sure that everyone is safe. And that's just going to come with learning and taking it day by day. So it's gonna be a slippery slope without a doubt, dependent on what the county does, and what the state
Yep.
does, what our governor does, and
Yep.
in terms of what phase we'll be in.
Right.
Eventually, we'll have gyms again, but things aren't going to be the same. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know for one, I'll be going back to a gym eventually, but I don't know about these group classes. I mean, I don't want to point out any specific companies, but there's a couple out there that's based off of group classes, and that's going to be really difficult to, get your business model back up because they're all about squeezing as many people into one little room as possible.
Mm, mm-hmm,
So, I mean, I'm afraid for those people because I mean, it's a scary time for them because it's
mm-hmm.
if you're gonna have to have 6 feet between each person or a certain amount of square footage per person, it's gonna be tough for them. And yeah, I mean, I know at home personal training has probably exploded during this time. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, yes, we're seeing a lot of good growth, especially in the fact that we've been able to pivot to the virtual aspect of it all.
Right.
Um, people want to keep moving. They need understand how to do it, and equipment is important as well. Equipment is very
Hmm.
important. That's one thing that kind of gives us an upper hand, because we've got a fleet of vans that carry over 365 pieces of in-home
Wow.
customizable equipment. And so that's one thing. If you've noticed, there's just been a shortage on equipment all over,
Right.
because people are just trying to buy up everything. Well, we've got so much equipment. We've been able to put together packages for our clients that are working out virtually, where we're doing the gym in a box. We're dropping off a gym basically in a little box at their doorstep. Comes with a pulse reader, gives them a blood pressure monitor. We give them bands, we give them some dumbbells, and we give them an exercise ball. And most of them have their own yoga mats, and that's what they need to get these things going, to get their heart rate up, to be able to monitor, understand where they're at and where they need to be on a regular basis. So that's been good. That's been very good for us. That's what helps differentiate us and help the business really grow. So we feel strong about our outlook. We've got to get better, though. We've got to keep finding ways to deliver an exciting experience to our clients. And so we're growing and we're learning every day on how to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, equipment's like gold right now, maybe even more valuable than gold. I mean, it's everyone wants it.
Yes.
So that's great that you guys can deliver that without charging, gold pricing.
Hmm.
So that's amazing. And yeah, I mean, what do you think at home personal training is going to go in the next 5 years? I mean, this has changed a lot of the whole gym industry. And just like
Hmm.
back in 9/11, I mean, it changed the whole way we fly planes and, how we get on planes and the whole airport experience. And
Hmm.
I have a feeling that this COVID-19 pandemic is going to change the way we work out in general. And because until we get a vaccine, it's going to be a lot different. So where do you see at home personal training in the next 5 years? Do you think, you know, majority of the people are going to be doing this, or what's your prediction for the future?
Yeah, if I had to predict, I'd project that the future looks good for in-home personal training. I think people are going to start understanding the value behind it, that it's not necessary to get outside of your home and drive to, wherever you need to go to get a workout in. I think that the social aspect of it is very important though at the same time. So that's why I
Right.
still feel that gyms are still critical. But in-home personal training should really take on a new heights, because it provides a new level of accountability that you really can't escape. You've got it on your calendar. You've got this meeting, whether it's virtual, whether it's a coach actually coming to your home, which I feel is the best thing.
Hmm.
Coach coming to your home and abiding by all of the rules, social distancing and all of that. But when you've got a coach showing up at your doorstep, ringing your doorbell, there's no turning away from that. The results are going to come because now you're dedicated, you're consistent, you've got the frequency, and I think that's what we're needing right now. That's what we need. We need experts in our homes to show us, what a great exercise and diet program looks like for individuals. Because everyone's different, and so it's
Yep.
important to have that customization. And in order to do that, it's great to have an expert that can show you the way. So I think the future is very bright for in-home personal training, and I encourage everyone to give it a shot.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's going to be huge. And I mean, it already is pretty big, but I think it's going to get even bigger and like exponential growth, just because of this. So yeah, and I think the industries that are going to survive the best are going to be the ones who educate their end consumer the best and,
Mm,
provide the best service at the end of the day.
mm,
And at home personal training already has their foot up because they're already in the door. You're already
mm-hmm,
there. So I mean, yeah, I think in-home personal training is going to be a huge thing for the coming years. Um, so let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go more into
mm-hmm,
mindset and how you think about business and everything. So I just want to give the people a little bit insight about you.
mm-hmm.
What makes you get out of bed every day?
Yeah, what makes me get out of bed every day? Well, it's first and foremost, it's a blessing to be able to get out of bed every day.
Yep.
That's something I'm so grateful for. And when you live a life, when you have an attitude of gratitude,
Hmm.
it just makes everything seem so much more valuable. Everything, and I'm not just talking about materials. I'm talking about people, talking about the experiences. Just everyday life is that much more meaningful, and that's why I wake up in the morning, because I'm looking to do something meaningful every day, whether that's providing education on health and wellness, whether that's helping someone with business, whether that's helping my family and friends just get better overall. I enjoy doing something meaningful. I love to serve. I love serving people. I love providing my wisdom, my guidance, and lending a helping hand in any way that I can. Serving is something I'm really big on, and then nurturing relationships. That's the other piece that gets me up in the morning. And I've developed great relationships across my entire life, and just like a plant, you've got to water, you've got to cultivate those relationships. You got to constantly
Yep.
nurture them, follow up with people, call your family and friends, reach out to them, let them know you're there. Maybe you can't see them every day, maybe you can't physically be with them, but you can still do things that let them know that you're thinking about them, that you care about them, and nurturing those relationships. So Brandon, those are the three things that really wake me up in the morning: doing something meaningful, serving others, and nurturing relationships.
Wow, that is perfect. I mean, that is so awesome. I mean, I think a lot of people can take something from that and learn from that, because if you can do that every day, I mean that's the goal. I mean, that's beautiful. So I think a lot of people should, look at themselves in a different way. Sometimes they're waking up and they're, all negative, and especially when we're in fear, like you were saying, in this pandemic, it's like, oh man, I have to go up and wake up another day in this, and I can't go out, I can't do anything, I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat a bunch of food. And I think people, need to change their mindset right now, because if we can look up and look at the things that are really important to us, like family and serving, um, and whatever's important to them, I think it will really change the way they live their lives. And I think you're showing a great example of what people should do. But of course, everyone should have their own specific goals on what they want to do and, what makes them happy, because that's the goal at the end of the day. And
Absolutely.
so, I mean, I just want a quick question here. How do you define success?
Hmm. That's a great question. That is a great question. How do I define success? Well, I guess success is really in the eye of the beholder.
Mm,
You know, it depends on on that individual, what makes them tick. For me personally, success success is it really goes back to knowing that I've made an impact, whether it's on someone's life, whether it's in the world in general, like done something that can benefit the world.
mm,
Um, I have to self-reflect, and kind of define success on a variable basis, right? I mean, making a bunch of money to me is not necessarily success by any means. I think what you do with the resources that you have and the impact you make on other people's life is more of a success.
yeah.
So I would define success as ongoing, and it's something. It's almost like a moving target, if you will.
Hmm.
And at certain times you can hit the bullseye because maybe today this is what success looks like to you. Maybe you've touched a few lives, um, and the next day it could definitely change. But really, it boils down to those three areas that I talk about. Why I wake up in the morning,
Hmm.
being doing something meaningful, serving others, and nurturing relationships. If you can do that and put goals together that reflect that, and you're able to hit those goals, to hit those targets on a regular basis, to me that's what success is all about.
That's awesome. That's perfect. Okay. Well, we're coming towards the end here. I want you to give, the listeners, do you have any fitness tips or any health tips you can give someone that's, they're kind of struggling with their health right now? I know everyone's different. Everyone needs their own specific plan and, in place, because everyone has a different body and the way we react to different things. But do you have any overall tips that we can do during this pandemic? Since gyms are closed and everything, do you have any a couple tips you can give the listeners that we can strive to get healthier?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the first tip that I would give everyone, Brandon, is to remember that we all have a choice.
Mm,
Everything starts with the way we think. The way we think directly relates to the way we feel. And so we've got to make that choice and make that choice quickly and never look back. Burn those bridges of doubt and start to think about, what do I really want? And the sooner we can focus on that, about what we really want as opposed to what we don't want, the better off our lives are going to be. And so that's my number one tip, is to always remember that you have a choice and to focus on what you really want, because that's going to bring greater value to your entire life in general. And when it comes to being fit, and when it comes to physical fitness specifically, there's a lot of things we can do. The first and foremost thing is to develop a plan. You've got to have a plan. I'm very big on visuals and vision boards and things of that nature. And I think that when it comes to your physical fitness, we've got to, again, circle it back down to, what is it that I really want? I want to be healthy. Get more specific about that. What is it that you truly want to be healthy around? Is it you want to have a healthier heart? You want to have a healthier look? Start with that, and then begin to educate yourself on how you can obtain those goals, and make sure those goals have a time frame behind them. Whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months from now. Get started now, but have a definitive timeline in place. Make sure you can measure what that success looks like. And I always suggest for people, in anything you do, seek expert advice. Seek expert advice. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, of course. There's things we can go to gather some facts and figures about what a key exercise diet program looks like. And like you said, everyone's different. So the sooner you can hone in on exactly what you want, the faster you can develop a plan to get exactly what you want. And of course, Gym Guys, number one in-home personal training, we're always here to help you with that. And for us, that's a complimentary service, just helping you with that mindset, developing that plan first and foremost is something that we're all about providing to any of our clients, our prospects with no charge with that. It's our complimentary assessment. So I encourage everyone to take that assessment to get a better idea about what they really want and allow an expert to help you develop a plan on how to get there. And then you decide on what path you want to take. But ultimately it all starts with that first tip. You have a choice, make that choice and build upon it from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Make the choice and have a plan in place. Those are two huge things. I mean, wow. So I got 5 roundup questions for you. We're just gonna go pretty much rapid fire.
Sure.
So just answer them as quickly as you can. The last one,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you take as much time as you want. But these aren't really, they're just out of the box questions. So, top 3 people in your life that help shape you.
Top 3 people in my life that helped shape me. Well, I would say my grandmother, absolutely.
Awesome.
Would definitely say my grandmother. I would say that our CEO of Gym Guys, Josh Short, has been very influential to me. I would say that my family, other than my fiance, she's one. I would add her with my grandmother. Sorry, I'm going for 4. And then I would say my last guy that I really look up to, my pastor right around the corner here,
Awesome.
pastor of Echo, Mr.
Nice.
Pastor Andy.
Awesome. All right. If you could have anything in the world right now, what would it be?
If I could have anything in the world right now, I would want to have 1,000 billboards, gym guy billboards, across the Bay Area.
Nice. That would be pretty cool. I think everyone would know who you were.
Exactly.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, I'd love to be like a rocket scientist. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Huh. That would be pretty interesting. What are you not very good at?
What am I not very good at? I think I'm not very good at communicating.
Hmm. Interesting. All right. And then last question. What's a piece of advice you'd like to give someone who's, getting into business or starting a business? And since you're in the world of business, what piece of advice would you want to leave them with today?
I would leave them with the piece of advice that I'd leave them with, Brandon. For me, like everything else, it always boils down to that mindset. And if you believe that you can do it, if you've got an idea or even a hunch, even a feeling, and you believe it, then do it and have no doubt, have that burning desire to go for it. Don't worry about how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. Um, have
Hmm.
that burning desire and know in your heart of heart that it will happen.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that wraps up the show. I appreciate you coming on. Would you like to tell the people where they can find out more about you and your business?
Absolutely. Everyone here in the Bay Area, feel free to just do a simple Google search on us, Gym Guys, and we'll pop right up. We're Gym Guys,
You want to spell
number
that out for
one.
them?
Yes, absolutely. It's Gym Guys, GYMGUYZ.
Yeah.
Z as in zebra, Gym Guys,
Just
number
want to
one
make sure
in-home
they got
personal
that.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Brandon.
All right.
You
And
can find us. Yep.
any social media you got?
Yes, we've got Instagram tags, we've got Facebook tags. It's all Gym
Awesome.
Guys, Santa Clara Valley. You can find us
Awesome.
on LinkedIn. We've got a YouTube, Gym Guys, where we're in all the social outlets of Gym Guys, and you'll find us.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys learned a couple things today. I know myself, I took a lot of notes, and I hope you guys did as well. And I hope this will help you guys grow in at least one aspect of your life. And Shannon, thanks again for coming on. We'll talk again.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.